order. We're here. It's Friday, April 3rd. We're finally back with another stream. Really enjoy doing these streams. I've been getting a lot of engagement lately. So it's been really great to see people are tuning in to see what I have to say. And, also with the shorts and everything, man, it's been really great to see people are actively liking, commenting, getting engaged, telling me where I'm wrong and things too, which is, understandable. There's not a lot of times you know, I'm just giving opinions and it doesn't really matter if it's right or wrong. I just want my voice to be out there to let people know that there is a differential in opinions out there when it comes to this great football club that is actually being ripped apart as we speak. But, as we see in the title of this stream today, guys, Liam Racina spoke today. It's what he does best, be spokesman for Blueco within the club right now. And he's speaking on, an interesting character that has been in the news over the past couple weeks, man. And we're going to go ahead and get into this because Enzo Fernandez, a guy that we've been talking about for, I don't know, man, for the better part of 2 weeks now, really since I've dropped this channel, he's been one of the main people that I've been talking about on here because I rate the guy very highly, right? So we're not going to go to Eunice's tweet yet. I do want to pop over to, sorry, just waking up. I have a lot of, oh shit. Well, here we go with this. Breaking from Argentina. Chelsea have agreed to sign Valentin Barco from their sister club Strasbourg. He will join in the summer. So this is all but confirming now that, hold on, I'll show you guys. I'm not even showing you. This is all but confirming now. I don't know if I'm the first of the YouTubers to break this, but Chelsea have agreed to sign Valentin Barco from their sister club Strasbourg. He will join in the summer. I know I just read that, but this is all but confirming that Enzo Fernandez is going to be gone in the summertime. This is going to be our replacement for Enzo Fernandez. I'm sorry, I have my dog right here. He's just trying to get involved. But it's interesting, man, because I'll be real. I have not seen this guy play. And I don't know. I just don't know how to feel about it. Like, I really don't know how to feel. Because we read today or this morning. Stop. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I don't know how to feel about Barco basically being confirmed to come next summer. I mean, Enzo's gone. He is absolutely gone. And we see in Liam Racina's press conference, he says that Enzo Fernandez has been sanctioned by the club for 2 games. Essentially, he's not going to be in the next 2 games. So Port Vale and the Man City game, Enzo Fernandez will not be available. And there's going to be some Chelsea fans out there that are going to be very happy with they're going to be very happy with him not being in the squad. But it's like you guys are going to start seeing why this team is different without him in there. And then your guys' opinions are going to start turning around on him saying, oh, wait a minute. Enzo's actually a key part to what we do in this team when we actually get it going. But people have the agenda. He didn't make himself look good during the week or the past couple weeks saying he wants to be in Spain. It reminds him of home, which honestly, if we're just taking that question of where he wants to live, that's not even a football question, bro. All he's saying is that he would love to live in Spain one day. What is wrong with that? I don't see any issues with that, really. And then Chelsea, I saw on Eunice's video yesterday, they protected him during the bus incident. Then why didn't he get dealt with when that whole song was being recorded for everyone to see? Why wasn't it dealt with then? Why is he the vice captain? Because realistically, if you're a serious club and you have a player that's contributing to activity like that, why is he the vice captain of your club? Do I believe Enzo Fernandez is actually a racist? No, I don't believe he is. But I believe that he in a situation where he is singing it, but he's put in a situation where he's around his teammates. He ain't trying to be the odd man out. Is that okay to do? No, I'm not justifying that. I'm half black myself. I don't agree with any of the songs that they sang on that bus. But at the end of the day, I don't believe Enzo Fernandez is truly a racist. But this isn't about if he's a racist or not. This is about if he really is as important to Chelsea as a lot of fans say that he is. I believe he is. I believe he is somebody that you can build your team around. I believe that in a few years, he's going to be considered a top 10 number 8 in the world without a debate. I believe he's in that conversation now, but people have their opinions and I can understand their opinions on it. But for me, not having him against Man City is going to be bad. It's going to be detrimental because we need the points. But when you're going out publicly, you're going on talk shows and you're saying, I want to be in Madrid, you know, I was really impressed with Toni Kroos and Luka Modric in their games against Chelsea. I mean, anybody would. Anybody would. Luka Modric and Toni Kroos are two of the greatest midfielders of our generation. So, of course, he's going to admire somebody of that caliber because that's who he should aspire to be, like those two. They're two of the greatest ever for a reason. So he wants to model his game after that. I have no issue with that. Whether you're at Chelsea or one day you decide to go to Real Madrid, then I'll support you because honestly, as a character, I can support a player like Enzo Fernandez. But a lot of people have the agenda that he's a racist. He's not a good dressing room leader because he actually goes at his teammates for poor performances. Now, have all of his performances been good? No. I'm one of the first people to say that I think he's been one of the better performers in this current stretch. But the problem is that when the rest of the team drops off, he seems to take all of the slack, all of the criticism. When Mark Cucurella was talking about if Barcelona came to his doorstep, it would be hard to turn down. Where's his two-game ban? Where's his 2-game ban at? I want to know that question. We can't keep using Enzo Fernandez as a fucking scapegoat, guys. Like you just can't do it. Also, music playing in the background. Don't know if you guys can hear it. It's Pokemon lo-fi beats. Been listening to a lot of lo-fi lately, man. It's been really good for like my mental. After work in the morning and stuff like that, it'll like get you going. So I recommend lo-fi if you guys are just going through like a tough mental period in your life and you just need to decompress. Stuff like this, it doesn't got to be Pokemon lo-fi. It can be any kind of beats you want. I guarantee it'll change how you feel about life going forward at times, at least. So more stuff from Pice here. Chelsea plan to further strengthen the squad in the summer, and senior players have been told about forthcoming recruitment plans as well as the club's ambitions to win further silverware. Captain Reece James signed a new contract, fully aware of Chelsea's planned activities. I mean, he is a captain, right? I mean, again, I'm not gonna believe any of this until I see a player, and I'm gonna go grab one of these jerseys, bro. I promise you. Until I see one of these players, I'm telling you, bro. Like, I need to see. For me to believe a signing is coming through the door, I need players to do this, bro. Show me the jersey, and you're smiling, happy to be at the bridge. That's what I want to see, bro. I'm getting tired of seeing all these reports of players are interested in coming to Chelsea or were linked with these players, and it's like, until I see it, bro, I need to see that. And I think every single Chelsea fan could actually agree with me on that. That we need to see these players holding the jersey up, bro. Like, that's what needs to happen. It really does. So if this is true, hopefully we can see some solid players coming to the club, bro. I mean, it's still Blue Co out. It doesn't matter. Like, it does not matter. Blue collar out still. It doesn't matter, man. You can get all these players all you want. The damage is already done. Okay. But yeah, I mean, if we're dreaming, right? What players are Chelsea realistically supposed to go for in the summer? If you're going after players in the summer, you're going after a left winger. Who's the left winger that people should be going for? You know what? I don't care if people have a take of we should give Gittins a chance, because when he's been on the pitch, he hasn't been good. I mean, I don't want to put him in this category, but he reminds me of Raheem Sterling. Very hesitant on the ball. Looks indecisive when he wants to actually play a pass. The one goal that he did score this season against Wolves was an absolute banger. The whole celebration, bro. It was filthy, but he has a few assists, sure, but I mean, it hasn't been good enough. And when you're coming in for a fee of about 55 to 60 million, you could have used that money in other areas. In my opinion, especially if you're going after two players that are pretty similar. I believe that you possibly may have wasted about 90 million on two wingers when you could have used that 80 to 90 million to go get an established left winger. Go get yourself a Rafael Leao, bro. Christian Pulisic all of a sudden now is looking like a stud at AC Milan. But we let him go. Why? Because, it was just too many players. And now it was the injuries at the club for Christian Pulisic for one, and two, he just wasn't consistent when he was on the pitch. So that's why he needed to get the move away. And I'm glad now, as an American, that he's playing well in Europe, because Americans don't translate well to the European game, bro. They haven't. If you look at the course of history, American soccer players or American football players, whatever you want to call them, they don't do well in Europe. Our greatest ever player, in my opinion, is Clint Dempsey. He's the only player outside of Christian Pulisic that have had some type of success playing in Europe. Weston McKennie's out there too. I understand, bro. Omega's out there. Oh no, not Omega. Orion Balogun's out there. Like, I understand, bro. But my problem is that Americans, I just don't think they're mentally capable of playing in Europe. It's just my opinion. I just don't think they're mentally capable of playing in Europe, man. And are expected to sign players with proven. I mean, yeah, they have to, but it's PR, bro. Rosinha and vice captain while Enzo's out for the next two games. Moy, Tosin's in the conversation, bro. That's how you know this club is gone. If I'm giving it to anybody, I'm probably giving it to Caicedo. But honestly, I would probably a shout here. I would give it to João Pedro. That's just me. If I had to choose out of these five, I'm gonna give the vice captaincy to João Pedro. Because honestly, bro, João Pedro is a galvanizer of troops. You can play for a center forward like him because he genuinely gives a fuck about what he's doing on the pitch. You can look at a lot of these Chelsea players at times, and you can question the determination to want to be out there. I can promise you, bro. You can take a look at Pedro Neto, Fofana, Garnacho at times, right? Liam Delap is another case of it, where like you're questioning whether they want to be out there or not. And João Pedro, I never get that. Every time he steps on the pitch, he hasn't had a good past 3 games, but the entire team has been trash, bro. So of course he's gonna drop off. But the game prior, what did he do? He scored a hat-trick against Aston Villa. Something that I predicted. If you go take a look at my channel, the Aston Villa preview, take a look at the end of the video. And look at the day. I predicted João Pedro's hat trick. I said João Pedro may do something special at Villa Park. He ends up scoring a hat trick because every time he steps on the pitch, I have a belief that he's out there on a mission to be the best player on the pitch. And that's what every player should be doing when you're out there, right? So Rafinha should be given the vice captaincy role, in my opinion, to João Pedro. He shows leadership on the pitch, and he always gives his 100%. He always puts in a shift, no matter if he gets on the score sheet or not. If he's out of the game, he still puts in a shift to cover the spaces that he needs to cover. So for me, João Pedro would be my new vice captain. And I wouldn't give it back to Enzo Fernandez. If Enzo Fernandez really cares about being at the club and he wants to have that leadership role at the club, you got to earn it back, bro. On top of earning the trust back from your teammates, because I'm sure your teammates feel some type of way about what you've been saying during the week. Mark Cucurella's comments were different because he said he's still focused on what he's doing at Chelsea down the line, right? What is the Barcelona move if it ever happens? He's saying if it happens. Enzo Fernandez is trying to make the Real Madrid move happen because he either wants a new contract with new terms, but you're not going to get it in this way, bro. The only way you're going to get a new contract now is if your performances on the pitch justify what you're asking for. That's what's going to get you that new contract. And if you really want that move to Real Madrid and Chelsea don't get in the Champions League, but you're playing well, Chelsea may let you go because you at least put in the shift to try to get us into the Champions League. And if you still want the move away, cool. But if we get Champions League and you still want the move away, then sure, bro. You've already made it clear where you want to be at some point. He didn't say he wanted to move now. That's what I think people are really starting to get like misconstrued about what he's saying. He said he wants to live in Madrid, but he didn't say he wants to leave now. He never said that. That's where, for me, it's you're out here publicly saying you would love to live in Madrid, but did he ever say he wants to go to Madrid right now? That's the question I think people really need to start paying attention to. But people want to form opinions, and that's why conversations happen, right? That's why conversations like this guy, JNR, everyone's favorite clown in the Chelsea Twitter world, right? Make sure Enzo Fernandez is sold. No more carrying passengers, just to box crash and hit passes out of the stadium and can't run. Sanctions freeze, except highest bidder. Chelsea will be a better team without him here. So are you comparing Mesut Ozil to the Mesut Ozil situation in Mikel Arteta to let's take a look at what people are saying here. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like a lot of people are actually thinking we're going to be better without him. That's what I'm saying. Like first of all, I love your name, A Load of Old Shirt, right? This is a load of shit, to be honest with you, because are teams going to come in for over 100 million for him? No. If Enzo wants out and Real Madrid come in the summer, Chelsea will have to accept under 100 million because they're not going to be in the strongest terms to say, oh, whoa, we did get fifth, so we can say, well, we still offer Europe, yeah, but it's not the Champions League, bro. like you see what I mean? Like the Champions League has pull, and Real Madrid have the most pull out of any club in the world, bro. They had the most pull. So anybody, like, do you ever see a player say no to going to Real Madrid? I've never seen it. Well, it's, oh no, bro. Like, I'm good. What? Why would you do that? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it. But I mean, to think that we'll be better without him is crazy, bro. I don't. I really want to actually like get a conversation going with this guy and actually ask him. Ooh, looks like the agent came out, boys. Hold on, man. It looks like the agent came out, and now he's starting to say some shit. Says breaking: Enzo Fernandez agents Javier Pastore. I hope I butcher that. Says ban is unfair. Enzo did not understand the situation. When the coach told him, he accepted it because he is a highly professional guy who is always fully committed wherever he is and respects decisions. But we don't understand the punishment because he doesn't mention any club or says he wants to leave Chelsea, which is true. This is what I'm saying here, guys. Did he ever say he wanted to leave? This is what I'm saying. Like, these are the kind of things where when people start posting bullshit on social media, like people like this JNR guy, bro, like, right? Like people saying that he wants to leave. When did he say he wants to leave? All he said is that he wants to live in Madrid one day. What is wrong with saying that? He was asked a question and the guy answered it. What is wrong with saying that? That's where, for me, it's like people have the agenda that he's been wanting to leave since he got here. When did he ever say he wants to leave? Could you guys pull me a quote that's not AI generated of him saying, I want to leave? Could somebody find that for me? Can somebody find it? No, because he's never said it. The guy recently came out and said, I want to win the Premier League and the Champions League with Chelsea. I'm sorry, has he achieved that yet? I feel like if he's gonna put out a claim like that and a promise like that, you got to stay and fulfill that. So there is no loyalty in football anymore, but I believe if you make some type of promise like that, you're gonna have to hold yourself to that. Right? Like you have to. There's no excuse to not do it now. But anyway, we get back to this, right? Far from it. He only mentions Madrid, the city, because he was asked which European city he'd like to live in one day, like I said, right? And he said Madrid because of the language, because it's similar to Buenos Aires. And because it's logical, it's only natural for an Argentine to say that. And also because of the culture, the weather. But at no point does he say he wants to leave Chelsea or London. This is what I'm saying, bro. We genuinely see, look. This is the dribble that I'm talking about, guys. This is the dribble. Yeah, see, this page doesn't exist anymore. Wild, bro. Wild. All of a sudden, huh? That's crazy, man. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and he can cry more. Bro, are you're tripping, dude. You're tripping, my man. Honestly. Yeah, I mean, he did say we will see, but of course, right? This is the problem that I think people are gonna have with him is he said, well, we'll see after like the World Cup. Of course he's gonna feel that way. The guy has ambitions to win at the end of the day, bro. I mean, where's the punishment then for Marc Cucurella then? He mentioned Barcelona by name. If I'm not mistaken, did Enzo Fernandez ever mention Real Madrid by name? Marc Cucurella mentioned Barcelona by name. Am I right or am I wrong here? Do I need to pull that up so then, right? Right. Look. So it's right here, right? Let me pull the image up. See if I can do that. Yeah. Look. This is what the man said 2 days ago, right? Oh, hold on. That's not the one I actually wanted. Look, bro. This is a real quote from Marc Cucurella himself. If an offer from Barcelona arose, it would be hard to turn it down. The guy mentioned it by name. I'm trying to figure out like why is he not getting a 2-game ban then if he's mentioning teams by name here? When did he ever mention any of this by name, bro? Like that's for me, I'm just trying to figure that out. Like I really, really am. Like I just find it to be ridiculous, man. I really do. But um should he get the 2-game ban though? Yes, bro. Honestly, you should be getting the 2-game ban because you got to conduct yourself better during the international break. People want to blame the Argentine FA and shit for not like not trying to figure out like how to like mask those questions away from him, but it's like why is that their job? And it wasn't even a football question that they asked at the end of the day. It was about which European city would you love to live in. He happened to pick Madrid. Okay, like, but did he ever mention Real Madrid by name? No. So that's for me. I don't see why there's such an outrage with his comments during the week. But should he be talking like that while he's under contract? No, he really shouldn't. But he put himself in that situation, and as a and as the former vice captain now, bro, you're gonna be hard pressed to get that back. And say you do get your move to Real Madrid, right? You understand you actually gotta own up to the transfer fee that you're going for. Now it would be less than what we bought him for, right? But don't let 2, 3 bad performances happen. You think the Chelsea fans are bad? I'm sorry. We saw Real Madrid fans earlier this season booing and whistling their players off the pitch. Right? Because at that football club, player power was at an all-time high. Particularly when Xabi Alonso was there. And I'm just talking about this season in particular. The players, in my opinion, turned against him. They didn't want to play for him. And the fans noticed that. Now, they're playing a bit better now, which is great to see. When Real Madrid are playing well, the sport is probably at an all-time high, right? For me, Enzo Fernandez has a couple bad games at the Bernabeu. Yeah, these fans are going to whistle him off the pitch. Because you're publicly saying, I want to live in Madrid. Well, now you're here, right? Show us why we paid the money for you. Show us why we really didn't need you, but we brought you here anyway because you said you wanted to be here, right? So show us why you want us to play you week in, week out with a Valverde, with a Chouamani, right? With Camavinga, right? It's like, and if they go get Rodri and they get Enzo, Real Madrid would have the best midfield in the world, bro, and there'd be no debate, no debate. It would actually be hilarious after all this twerking. Real Madrid won't even want Enzo. Yeah, bro, like Mod be posting some weird shit every now and then, but I've been saying this. What if they don't even come in for him? See, now Fabrizio Romano's posted it. Sid Lowe. Sid Lowe is one of the few journalists on that I can actually like listen to because I feel like his opinions are like insane, to be honest. Insanely dope, really. But Fabrizio Romano also posted shit too. It's the same thing. He only mentions Madrid, the city, because he was asked which European city. That's what I'm saying. He never said he wanted to leave, guys. But now he's gonna probably end up pushing for the move. Yeah, bro. I mean, he's cooked, bro. Yeah, I mean, him essentially. I mean, and you got a game on Saturday too, right? I mean, I'm just gonna say this about the Port Vale and Chelsea game, bro. Don't find a way to lose this game. I mean, if you're really thinking about it, Enzo's really missing one game, right? He's missing the Man City game. Chelsea should be beating Port Vale. They're last in League One, bro. In the third tier of English football. If they find a way to make this game difficult, at this point, bro, you need to liquidate the entire fucking football club if you find a way to lose to Port Vale on Saturday. Like, come on, man. Don't find a way to do it. But are they capable? Abso-fucking-lutely. Under this manager, under this ownership, they're absolutely. They almost lost to Wrexham. Like, now, do I realistically think Port Vale is going to come to the bridge and do anything? No. But there is that, small part in your brain where you keep useful information. I mean, in that spot there, it's like, you know what? You never know, do you? You never really know. That's why I'm like, maybe Port Vale might make it a game for like 20 minutes, put Chelsea on the back foot a little bit, but they should be wrapping this game up in the first half. I'm expecting a decent 11. I'm expecting Sanchez in goal. I'm expecting Malagusto at right back. Chalaba's in there. I know people are gonna say West, but I'm not. I'm just not a fan, bro. I think he needs to be sold in the summer. The Badia Shield, I would just throw in there, bro. I mean, honestly, like our center backs without Levi Colwell are just so dire, bro. That's why it's so difficult to find one that you can just stick in there and say, you know what, I can trust you. Levi Colwell is the only center back I can trust at the football club, and he's injured. But supposedly he'll be back soon, so it'll be nice to see what he can do to come back and somewhat help us at the end of the season. And we'll see if he's the same center half he was before he got hurt, because he was having a stellar end to the season last year and the Club World Cup. But I'm gonna say Cucurella at left back, which is crazy because if Enzo is publicly saying stuff about Madrid and in the media, why doesn't Mark Cucurella get one too, for basically saying if Barcelona came to my doorstep, it'd be hard to turn down? Where's his, like, I don't know. The club have it ass backwards in my opinion. You need to hold everybody accountable for speaking what they were speaking during the international break. But in midfield, I got Lavia and Caicedo and Santos. In my opinion, I think going forward, we need to have a midfield three, bro. We need to be able to control games and just be disciplined in midfield. When Enzo does come back, because Enzo will come back. He's going to be back for the Manchester United game. And what a game to come back for, right? The day of the protest, right? Probably your biggest game of the season. Probably a game that dictates whether or not you get into Europe, period. And he's going to come back with fans probably as emotional as they've ever been. Like realistically, man, like this Manchester United game is going to probably be one of the most emotionally charged games that we've seen in a very long time, because he probably goes right back into the starting 11, and the vibes in the stadium that day whenever he touches the ball are going to be very interesting. Now, in these two games without him, particularly the Man City game, you're going to probably see why this team needs somebody like him in the squad. And if they play well without him, they play well without him. I mean, that's great. It means that Chelsea actually played well for once, right? But he wouldn't be the reason why they ended up not playing well. usually when Chelsea are playing well, he's usually a part of the reason why, right? But they also have played well without him in a few games. But more often than not, when Chelsea are playing well, he's generally in that conversation of players of the match because he's the one that's dictating where everything is starting from. Yeah, I mean the whole Trivella passing and all that shit. I mean, it's nice to watch, right? But I just want to see more of a. I just want to see more calmness out of the guy, bro, because I feel like he is losing his head out there a little bit more now because of how bad everything has been going. Even his performances have dropped off a little bit, but he's still been one of the better performers in this squad while we've been dog shit, bro. Honestly. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. All right. Sorry, guys. I had to reply to that. But I mean, honestly, bro, I got that in midfield. Lavia, Caicedo, Santos on the left. I mean, this is where it gets interesting, I guess. Like on the left, I'll be real, and it's not going to be a popular decision. I'd put just because it's Port Vale, I'd put Esteval on the left, Palmer off the right, and João Pedro at at the striker. Palmer's not going to really be off the right, but he'll be more tucked in, but playing in that central position, but more off the right. But for me, in a game like this, you can afford to play a bit risky because you're playing against a team that generally is going to sit back. So you can play Palmer out wide a bit more and have him go in. But in the game against Man City, I want to see him more centrally. So tomorrow score prediction, bro. I'm gonna go. We haven't scored in 3 games, bro. So for me to say 7-0 would be crazy, right? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 3-1 Chelsea. That's what I'm gonna go with. Even though we haven't scored in 3 games, but I'm gonna go 3-1 Chelsea tomorrow at the bridge, and we'll see what happens, bro. Because I'm not confident at all in the next stretch of games that are coming up, man. Man, just reading a lot of this stuff, man, is like yeah, and that is, I mean, like, look, bro, this is what I'm saying here, right? Look, bro. Honestly, this is like the last thing I'm gonna say on this. I believe the difference with what was going on here is that with Enzo Fernandez, bro, since he's come to the club, there's always been rumors about him leaving to Real Madrid or PSG or even Barcelona to an extent, right? Like, I even saw some stuff yesterday of people trying to have Enzo Maresca, if he goes to Man City, sign Enzo Fernandez. Why would you want to help them? Like, it's just ridiculous, bro. Like, people aren't thinking on this app, right? But like, the difference is that Enzo's been in the rumor mill for transfers away for the longest time, but he's never publicly said that he wants to leave. That's just me, right? Like, he's never said he publicly wants to leave. Just because he said we'll see after the World Cup, it doesn't mean that he's leaving. I mean, I've never heard him say I want to leave Chelsea. I want to leave London. I've never heard him say that. Like it's like I said, if somebody watching or they see the shorts or of any of this later, could you guys find me the quotes where he said, I want to leave Chelsea, I want to leave London? Because a lot of the questions that he was asked were unprompted, right? I mean, a lot, I guess, I mean, for me, Enzo's not stupid. He knows he should know how to answer questions like that, being in the media and being a professional footballer that should know how to talk to the media and know how to dodge questions, right? And know how to veer questions away and shit from trying to give them any kind of tea that these journalists want to get the exclusive stories, right? But he's crying because Chelsea will finally beat Man City without him in the team, and he will be exposed for being a liability. He was the guy that got us a point against Man City in the first place. I mean, I'll be honest. Is Rafinha dropping Enzo coming from Rafinha, or is that coming from the board? We all know that. I mean, Rafinha's got no control, bro. They're gonna say it's Rafinha, dude, making these decisions, but he didn't make this decision, guys. It was the board. The board don't want negative PR about the club, but he never publicly bashed. Really, well, in a way, he's publicly bashing the project in this aspect. Sacking the manager is probably the key reason why he feels the way that he feels. And it's not even probably over the contract. It's probably about sacking a manager that he had a belief in and that was making him a better player. And why it was easier to justify people saying that he's worth over 100 million. Everybody in this team right now, bro, everyone's values have dropped off. Maybe outside of Esteval, because Esteval really all he's gonna do is just continue to go like this, and this. But if he's around this mediocrity for the next 2 or 3 seasons, you don't think he's gonna want to move away? People really need to wake up, bro. This isn't just about the players that are in their 25, 26-year-old era, bro. Estebal's 18. You don't think Real Madrid or Barcelona are gonna come knocking at his door when he's 21, 22? Do they really need him? Right? Do Barcelona need Estebal? Probably not. We all know who they have over there. Like, they don't really need him. Real Madrid, though, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting. I would be here for it too, honestly. I would not mind because I feel like one day he will end up there. He's only 18. Yeah. This stuff is too easy to predict now, and yet some people want to talk about changing the model. There's no money to splash. It's all gone. The model won't be changed, and they're showing that to you in their faces. After reading that they're going to go in the summer and get experience, proven Premier League players with pedigree. Like, yeah, bro. And then you come out today that Barco will be signing for Chelsea as reinforcement. No, this is a replacement for Enzo Fernandez, guys. This will be the replacement for Enzo Fernandez. If Real Madrid don't come in this summer, next summer they will be coming in to probably try to get somebody from our club. You never know. It may even be Cole Palmer, bro. Shit. Like the way it's going right now. But then again, Palmer may not even get a move away if he continues to play that the way that he's playing. And people aren't having enough of a conversation about him right now, about his form, right? People are continuously bashing Enzo, but I don't see enough people talking about Palmer and his performances. I mean, everyone thought, oh shit, he's back. He came on against Uruguay and this and that. He somewhat got an assist, right? Then he stinks up the joint against Japan. And as a Chelsea fan, it's like, why are England fans so surprised? Why are football fans so surprised all of a sudden? Oh, what happened to Cole Palmer? You're just now realizing this? Y'all really thought? That's my favorite player on the team, bro. I talk about Enzo a lot, but trust me, Palmer is my favorite player on the team, bro. And it's very, 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 very sad to see the state of mind he's in right now. Because we all know, and we've seen it, and we've come to adore it, we've come to love it, and he's on his way, if he continues at the trajectory he's on, when he's informed, to becoming a legend at the club. He already has legendary moments at the club. 4 goals and a half. 5 goals in a game. Like, bro, like the dude is unreal when he's on, right? But the drop off this season needs to be talked about. It's the burnout. It's playing through the summer. It's the amount of injuries he's had, right? The groin, the thigh, the ankle, right? He's been having these injuries, even the freaking pinky toe, bro. Like, he's been having injuries. But now he's been back since January, right? Knowing that the World Cup is coming in about now is what, April 3rd? A little over 2 months. Your team, Chelsea, are sitting 6th in the Premier League with a stretch of games coming up that can either make or break your season, either getting into Europe or missing out on Europe entirely. They're at that point in their season. They're at the crossroads of their season, right? How bad do they want to get into the Champions League? I don't know how bad they really want it. But if Cole Palmer can find a way, and I'm sure every Chelsea fan wants this to happen. More than anything. Because like Chelsea fans more than anything want this guy to be clicking, because the team plays better when he's on his shit, right? We're sitting 6th right now, bro. We're 6 points behind Aston Villa. We had a chance to jump them before the international, or we had a chance to cut the lead to them to 3 points and jump Liverpool going into the international break. And what have we done? What have we done? We've lost. We've won 1 game in 5 in the league. 4 straight losses in all competitions, bro. Like, do you understand how dire it is? We had 9 losses all last season. We're on track to get probably 13 or 14. And like I said this yesterday when I was talking about where I had Chelsea finishing. Well, when I predicted like my preseason picks, I'm like, they're not going to win the league, but I think they can finish 2nd and actually give Arsenal a run for their money, because if we're going off of the copium of the Club World Cup, Chelsea fans were at all-time high, and I saw some fans even trying to say that they could win the league. I I thought it was like it's ambitious. It's possible if things work in our favor, but since the Arsenal game, bro, on November 30th, I keep on saying this, man. Enzo Maresca didn't have a good stretch leading to his departure, but am I going to really put all the blame on him when it comes to how bad the season got after that? No. Am I going to put all the blame on the players for going through it, all that? No. Everything is stemming from up top with the decision making that you didn't do over the summer, getting Enzo Maresca the right players he needed to take this team to the next level. Was he in elite manager? No. But elite managers have to start somewhere, and the birth of an elite manager has to start somewhere. You go to Chelsea, and Chelsea have had the history of chopping and changing managers. Why couldn't Enzo be the first guy to actually be there for 4 or 5 seasons, 6 seasons, 7 seasons, and actually take this team forward? It would have been very interesting to see where this team would have been if Enzo Maresca is the manager, and say it's like 2030, where this team would actually be. You got a lot of these players in their late 20s, early 30s, and you never know. Maybe they probably won a Premier League title, but they're so far off of that, it's not going to happen anytime soon. So, Chelsea, honestly, it's going to be a very tough ask. I don't know if they get into Europe, bro. I said they're going to finish 9th because I just don't see a world where their form from last season all of a sudden comes out of nowhere. Not under this manager. If Enzo Maresca was still the manager, I would say there's a chance, especially with the big games coming up with Man City. With give me 1 second. Like, we have to understand here that I got them finishing 9th. If Enzo Maresca was still the manager, I do believe that they could figure a way to climb into those Champions League spots. But under Lee Mourinho, I don't see a world where it happens, bro. I just don't see a world. Not right now, at least. I mean, maybe if somehow, some way they pick up something against Man City, bro. I mean, sure. But even then, the Man United game is the one that I'm really like looking at, and I'm like, that's the game that we have to get 3 points in. If there's any game that you get the 3 points in, it is the Manchester United game. But could they show up out of nowhere against Man City? You never know, man. I mean, this team is so bipolar, dude. But off of recency bias and off of like what's been going on recently, this team's not showing up against Man City. Man City are trying to catch Arsenal, but if we take a look at, because the Premier League is back next week, and I did see that the Chelsea Brighton game may be moved due probably because if Chelsea progress in the FA Cup, then that game will get moved because I think that's an FA Cup weekend as well. So Arsenal play Bournemouth on the 11th. West Ham versus Wolves. That's gonna be an it. So, you know what? Let's dive away from Chelsea for a little bit, man, because they are a headache to talk about. So we'll just dive into the other Premier League games, bro, because I understand that it's next week, but I can't wait for the Premier League to come back because the FA Cup's nice, but I'm all about the Prem, honestly, like right now. Like if we get to the final, or we get to the final, that'll be great. I mean, cool. Chance to win some type of silverware or whatever. Maybe it'll salvage our season. I don't know. Maybe it'll entice players to stay because we won a fucking trophy and not get into the Champions League. But you win the FA Cup, you get to the Europa League. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what this team does, man. Isak may face Man City. Ooh, Alexander Isak may be coming back. And then I saw Allison is going to be out for, it looks like the remainder of the season, which is crazy, honestly. So, but West Ham Wolves, bro, that's going to be an interesting game because Wolves have been in an interesting run of form where they're actually picking up results. They've beaten a few good teams. You know, I know Spurs are down there too. I'm gonna take a peek at the table again after I go over these games, but it wouldn't surprise me if Wolves find a way to get points there. But I think West Ham should get the job done against Wolves and officially probably relegate Wolves. I don't know if Wolves could have any more games remaining really where they can salvage their survival, but they're for sure going down. Like I said, if Rob Edwards finds a way to get Wolves above the relegation zone, it's the greatest managerial job I've ever seen. Arsenal get the early kickoff on Saturday, hosting Bournemouth. Could be a tricky game for Arsenal. It's the first game back in the Premier League, really, in 2 weeks. They would have already played an FA Cup game. I think the Champions League is also in that game, in that too, because I think they travel to Sporting first, which I'm going to take a peek at the Champions League games as well. But Arsenal, that's going to be an interesting game. It'll be very interesting to see how the first leg of the Champions League goes, how if their strongest 11 is in that game. Then you got Brentford, Everton. Everton just ripped us apart. That's going to be an interesting game. That's actually a pretty good game to take a look at on that day, really. Burnley versus Brighton, kind of a throwaway game if you ask me, because you got Burnley going down for sure, but Brighton really aren't going to go anywhere. You got Liverpool and Fulham. Liverpool, now, they're in an interesting position where they're 5 points off of fourth, but they also have been very, very up and down this season. Arne Slot may be out the door at the end of the season if they don't get into the Champions League. So, I mean, could Fulham go there and do something special? Maybe. It's a possibility. I don't think they will, but it wouldn't shock me if Fulham go there and get something out of that game. Crystal Palace and Newcastle. Palace are just, trying to get as many points as they can. Newcastle is looking to get into those European spots, but that loss to their great rival is very damaging, honestly. To have them to have Sunderland do the double on you, home and away, man, in their first season back in the Premier League. Crazy, man. Forest hosting Villa. A Midlands derby there. I mean, Forest just beat Spurs 3-0. Could they do the same to Aston Villa and cement themselves survival in the Premier League? I think it's possible. I might pick Forest in that game to win. Only because like I need Aston Villa to drop points too. But Forest, I think Forest will beat Villa on that day. Sunderland hosting Spurs. I don't see Spurs beating them, bro. No, I don't see with them coming to the state, bro. The stadium lights is going to be rocking for that game. I think Spurs are going to get annihilated, honestly, in that game. Chelsea versus Man City. We all know. We've all been talking about it. Is this a game that Chelsea are going to seriously be in contention for? I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what team shows up on that day. We'll see, I guess, right? I'll have a preview for it next week, but I don't know. And then Man United hosting Leeds, old-fashioned rivalry there. Man United have been in a great run of form, but Leeds also need the points too. So if we take a look at the relegation battle, right? Holy shit, man. So Spurs suffering that heavy defeat to Forest a couple weeks ago, right? Spurs are sitting on 30 points. West Ham are on 29. Leeds sit 3 points above Spurs right now. So you're looking at a scenario where if Spurs go to Sunderland and they win, they would be level on points with Leeds if Leeds don't beat Manchester United. But they would be 15th and above them on goal differential. But I think the problem that Tottenham are going to have is that they just concede too many goals, bro. They're so leaky defensively. And like it's coming from a Chelsea fan saying this, right? But Spurs are even worse. So like it is going to be absolutely insane if Tottenham find a way to get relegated, bro. But they have tough fixtures, man. I mean, I hate Tottenham. I will say that I like if they go down, I'm gonna laugh my ass off, honestly. But then again, Chelsea could be there in a few seasons if they don't get their shit together, right? So Brighton come to the lane. I think the biggest game they have the biggest game left for them. It isn't even like the Chelsea game because that game may be the one that either keeps them up or it relegates them. But I think it's this game right here. It's Wolverhampton away, bro. That's the game where I feel like if Tottenham don't get 3 points in that game, I think they're in serious trouble. I think they're in serious trouble because you look at their fixtures in May, bro. Aston Villa away. That's not going to be an easy game for them at all. Tottenham having Leeds come to the lane, bro. That game there, which in the last game of the season is against Everton, right? At the lane. The game against Chelsea may either keep them up or it may be the following weekend where if they lose that game or they don't pick up 3 points, they get relegated. But I think the Wolves game is going to be the game that puts them in serious jeopardy to get relegated. That's just me. Yeah. But I don't know, man. Do Tottenham get relegated? I want to know, bro. Like in the comments and shit, man. Like, do Tottenham get relegated? I have a feeling they might, man. I have a feeling they might get relegated, bro. Are they really now? Chelsea are now open. So I mean, if he's doing this for the PR aspect, these targets will be players who maybe you don't know have to wait 6 months to see an impact. You don't have to wait 6 months to see an impact. They'd be coming in straight away making an impact. So who are these players that we're speaking of, right? Go get me a left winger. Go get me a strike partner with João Pedro, or just bring back Nicholas Jackson, right? Please. Yeah, I mean, it's not wrong. That's crazy. The performance against PSG was top. Is he being serious? Carrots. Lukaku did an interview a few months after he signed for the Champions League for the UCL champions on a record fee. Enzo did an interview after being lied to for years. Context is key. So relax. We've got Caicedo, Lavia, Santos, and Asugo. Right. 2 of the 4 of these guys can't even stay healthy, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like Romeo Lavia, I don't think he's played a full 90 minutes for Chelsea, bro. I don't think he's had one 90-minute game for Chelsea yet, bro. Like I don't think he's had it. And we're over here talking about, oh, well, if he wants to leave, relax. We got him. He hasn't played 90 minutes, bro. A full 90-minute game since he's joined the club. Then his injuries, he's out for at least a minimum of 2 months. Asuga, who we brought in, has hardly seen the pitch. So people say relax. Andre Santos and Caicedo, sure, we can relax. But Lavia and Isugo, no, we can't relax, bro. Not happening. I mean, yeah, but I just think that when publicly saying a football club, bro, I just feel like there needs to be some type. I feel like behind the scenes, he was probably told something, but they're not gonna put that out. Why? Because it's Mark Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez grabs more headlines, bro. They grabs more attention. It's gonna create more buzz, right? Mark Cucurella, generally off the pitch, you don't hear a lot about him, right? Enzo Fernandez, you hear about stuff off the pitch, not as often. But when stuff like this starts popping up and you're out there in the media just saying whatever, yeah, bro, people are gonna have a problem with what you're doing. Like I had a problem with you, bro, going out there and basically saying, "Hey, man, like I want to live in, I want to live there one day or whatever," right? But it's like he never publicly said, "I want to leave Chelsea." Never said it. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be real, bro. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we all will. We all will, bro. We're all gonna be here when that's what I'm saying, bro. He was deemed not good enough for Brighton, and he's better than a World Cup winner, right? Yeah, man. It's why, bro. That's what I'm saying. Some of the people on this app, bro, just don't. I don't. I don't know, man. I think a lot of them just need to go get their fucking brains checked, dude. Like it's crazy. I mean, I've never heard of the guy until like what a few months ago, and it's not because I don't pay attention to like soccer or football or whatever, bro. I don't watch the French league. Like I just don't watch it. So it's like I'm not aware that he's even over there. But apparently he's nice, he's decent, right? Like apparently so. But for me, he's better than Enzo Fernandez, bro. Have a day off, man. Like it's just a little waffle, bro. Like what you're doing, dude, is crazy. I mean, you're showing us clips, right? Let me see a full 90-minute game. A stretch of full 90-minute games of this. People get so enticed by like what they see on these highlight clips and shit on YouTube, but it's like you're not even paying attention to like are you watching the full game? I've seen Enzo make that same pass and players aren't able to actually finish it. That's a great pass. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the kid is bad at all. I think he's nice, but to say he's better than Enzo already is crazy, bro. That's that's what I'm saying. Like you have the agenda against him. Plus, isn't he doing this in France? Where there's more space given to you. Let me see him do this against a Premier League midfield, bro. Honestly, like I want to see him do this against a Premier League midfield. Like that's a great finish, by the way. But like I hope he does well for us. I want him to do well for us. If he's coming to the club, good luck to you, kid. I have nothing against him at all. It's the ownership that I have a problem with, and a lot of people have a problem with, because like these are the players that, yeah, sure, if you have experienced players in the squad and you go grab a player like this, absolutely. But you need certain levels in this squad. This is a guy you bring in when you have an established midfield, when you have an established center forward, then he can work with these experienced players. But he is nice. I ain't gonna lie. He looks like he has good passing range on him. He's physical, you know, has good vision. But again, a lot of these passes, you know what I mean? Like I've seen Enzo make a lot of these same passes. That was a good cross too. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm giving the kid props too. I think he's nice. But to say he's better than him is crazy, bro. I don't know what you're smoking. Because I know it ain't weed. I can tell you that. There is something though about like left-footed players that like they just look so graceful when they play. I don't know what it is. I feel like other people have like noticed like the same thing. Like left-footed players like have a different aura about them, like a different grace about them. So I mean, all this is nice, bro. But at the end of the day, you sell Enzo Fernandez, you know they're not going to use that money in the right areas. But an interesting thing that I'm gonna actually pull up to the regular camera because I'm gonna get out of here soon because I have to get ready for work. But an interesting conversation I wanted to have was I saw a video yesterday from A9 Skills or whatever his name is on YouTube talking about who is the better athlete between LeBron James and Cristiano Ronaldo, right? And I will say this, being out here in America, and he lives in America too, so it's good to have the American perspective if you live out here, the perspective from somebody that watches soccer and football and basketball. So I watch both sports, right? As great as LeBron James is as an athlete, basketball player, as a human being, right? I have a personal beef with him because he played against the Golden State Warriors for years in the NBA Finals. So it was a, it was like that. But the point is here, LeBron James could not play a 90-minute game of soccer or football. He couldn't do it. He's what, 6'8", 250, 260? You're not running around for 90 minutes if you're 6'8". Have a day off, bro. That's not happening. You put Cristiano Ronaldo, he's what, 6'2", probably about 210, 220, maybe, right? Ronaldo could play point guard in the NBA, could probably play in the infield in Major League Baseball, could probably also play in the slot in the NFL, slot wide receiver, right? If he just knew how to run routes, shoot a basketball, you're telling me Cristiano Ronaldo couldn't play in the NBA, Major League Baseball? Also, probably be a boxer, UFC fighter. Cristiano Ronaldo is the better athlete than LeBron James. And people can come at me in the comments about it. I don't care. Because I played soccer for over 20 years, right? I feel like my skill set and my athleticism can translate into any sport. Because mostly because of the conditioning that you have to do in football and soccer. Like that's one thing. Another thing is the coordination you get with your feet in the footwork you have can translate into basketball, can translate into running routes in the NFL. So for me, Cristiano Ronaldo is the better athlete than LeBron James. And the Americans that want to come at me in the comments, I'm American. I've watched LeBron James play basketball since I was in the 4th grade. I'm 32. I think I know what I'm talking about here, right? So, Cristiano Ronaldo, a huge influence in my life and why I love this sport, right? Even though he played for Man United, I'm a Chelsea fan, but he was my favorite player in the Premier League when he was in the league, even though he played for Man United. The point is, Ronaldo's body type, his frame, his athleticism, and his conditioning can translate into any sport. LeBron James is 6'8", 250, and he can play tight end in the NFL, but you're not going to see somebody that's 6'8", 6'9" in the Premier League, in the MLS also. You're just not going to see it. Soccer players and football players generally are between about what 5'7" and by like 6'3", 6'4", right? A lot of those players could translate into the NBA, especially. So yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo to me is the better athlete than a LeBron James. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I got to get to work in about an hour or so. So I'm gonna have some shorts uploaded throughout the day. I appreciate everyone watching. Like, comment, share, and do all that cool stuff. And yeah, man, I'll probably have some stuff up tomorrow. I'll see how my weekend's going. My schedule changed, so I do work tomorrow. So we'll see if I do a stream in the morning. I don't know yet, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Up the Chelsea, keep the blue flag flying high, and also fuck Blue Co. Blue Co, get the hell out of the club. Blue Co out.